Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mary, for the introduction, and let me just thank all of you for coming out this morning, supporting something that's so important to all of us, and that is bringing the city of Detroit back to its prominence. I would tell you, I don't know that I look forward to the reporters this morning, because with more senior reporters, I can say what I feel. With these young people, I've got to be very careful in my answers, and I'm not sure what kind of questions I'm going to get, but I'm sure we will get through it. I want to say that there are good things happening in the city of Detroit. Real quickly, retrospectively, I go back, this is the first hotel I stayed in when I came to Detroit in 1966. John, I've told you this story before. The Pistons office was in this building downstairs, and the first night that I came here to sign my contract, which was a huge $15,000 contract, 1 year, no guarantees. But I have wonderful feelings about this hotel, and I am so happy to see it restored the way it is. Let's give John a hand. John? Now, let's hope John has started the Renaissance, and this is the first of many good things that are going to happen downtown, but throughout the city of Detroit. And one of the things that I think we all dream about is, you know, what our city is going to look like 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So it's incumbent upon me and my administration, as we are into this first term, to make the decisions that are necessary to put the city on the right track. Yesterday, one of the good things that's happening is that we've got the Department of Housing, HUD, in the city out of the Obama administration, bringing some new ideas, but more importantly, bringing some new money. So we, as an administrative team, are going through a process to make sure that the money that's going to be coming, it has nothing to do with our budget. But the money that's going to be coming is going to go into the neighborhoods to start revitalizing our neighborhoods where people live. And I think that's exceedingly important. I'm sure I will probably get some questions on the budget, and I'll be able to speak to that, but rather than preempt it, I'll wait until I get the question and then I'll attempt to answer it. So once again, let me sincerely thank all of you for the support that you've given me personally, for the support that you've given this administration, and most important, the support that you're bringing back to the city of Detroit. Thank you so very much.
Okay, and here are our student journalists from Youthville. Mikaela Armstead, who is 12 years old. She is a student at Henry Ford Academy, School for Creative Studies. And Adam Taylor, 15, Hamtramck Academy. Both are participating in a very cool program at Youthville that is creating content about Detroit through their eyes, their questions, their stories. And you can find their stories on YouTube, but also on a very important website, thedetroithub.com. And if you are in business and you are looking for points about Detroit, stories about that are positive about Detroit, if you go to thedetroithub.com, you're going to find not only the Youthville material, but a lot of other information aggregated from media outlets around the city, around the community, as well as original reporting about Detroit that thousands of journalists all over the world can access, and that's the whole purpose of the detroithub.com. So with that, I turn it over to, I think we're going to go ladies first. Mikaela, what is your first question for the mayor?
Okay. My first question to you is, how do you plan to encourage us young adults to return to Detroit after we finish college?
I think the best thing that I can do to encourage our young people to come back to the city once they've gone away, the first thing we hope is that you stay in the area to go to college. Secondly, if you go away, we've got to make sure that we change the perception of the city, that we become more business friendly so that there are opportunities. One of the things that I think we're missing, and I think Detroit was a great city because they had young entrepreneurs, people who were interested in business, and that's the way this city grew. And I think we've got to get back to that kind of mindset, and my staff and I have to create the environment so that you've got an opportunity to start your own business and grow your business here in the city.
Adam, you're next up.
My first question is, school safety is a big issue. How do you plan on working with the school district on this issue? There's security in the schools, but what's lacking is there's still bullying going on in the schools. They're still being checked with metal detectors, and still students are not feeling safe.
Inasmuch as I don't have the authority in the school system yet, I believe that the education and the safety of our children are the most important thing that we, the adults, can provide for you, because you're not going to concentrate and get the best education if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel safe. So there are different organizations. I think this is where parents and community folks really have to come to the table. We got to start listening to you. We don't know all the answers. So I think there's got to be some open dialogue, some open communication between the adults and between the young people, so you can give us some ideas in terms of what you think we ought to be doing and what we can do. And I think that's the first step for us. But I look forward to that. It's going to be a tremendous responsibility, but I think in order for our city to come back, education is going to be paramount.